Well, good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday on this November 20th. Welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. Thrilled to have you with us. I am back home today. You probably heard it in my voice a little bit yesterday. Definitely had a setback. So I brought something back with me from Italy that I really wish I hadn't. I'm not sure what it is, but I will always keep a smile on my face and power through. But I thought it was best to do the show live from the house today. Not sure what I caught, the Italian flu. Yeah, fun. But rest is all I've been getting. Rest, rest, rest. And how about you? I heard a lot of things are going around. Pneumonia. I've heard people with the flu already. It's definitely that season. So for any of you that are dealing with that, or if your kids are, again, my thoughts and prayers going out to you. I'm hearing a lot of kids walking around with pneumonia, which is not a good thing. So yeah, a lot of things going around. I just wanted to keep everybody as safe as possible. Stayed away from the team as much as I could yesterday, and I didn't want to get my guests sick today. So we're going to have Jennifer Warmann Bloss from Elemental Aesthetics on with us here in about the next 10 minutes. Just want to spend a little time talking with you all. We're going to talk about masks today, and it's going to be the beginning of a series that I want to do because it's one thing that I've heard a lot from my clients, from those that I life coach. As we go into the end of the year and we get into the beginning of the year, it is taking those masks off. I read some really powerful books while I was on the plane on that 10-hour flight about people wanting to put masks on and to cover up the scars. And I mean emotional scars, physical scars of who they are because they feel like the world will not embrace them. Well, we're going to talk about that in a series as we lead up to the Feel the Authenticity workshop. It just feels kind of natural as we go into that particular day and really start to allow you to show who you really are. Sure, there's parts that people feel ashamed for past, whether it's physical or spiritual or mental. And there's aspects that you want to change. And if that's the case, that's fine. Own that. At the same time, though, don't let the world be the one that dictates who you want to show the world of who you really are. So when I talk about this workshop, some of you have purchased your tickets already. If you haven't, here it is on the screen, Feel the Authenticity Workshop. It is going to be Sunday, December 8th at a really cool place. If you haven't been yet, Yenology, which is in Frontenac, you can see the address on the bottom of the screen. It's going to be from 1 to 3 p.m. And we're going to go through so many levels. Honestly, what I want is if the emotions come out on you and you feel like you're going to start crying, then do it. Don't hold those things back anymore. And I want it to be something that you feel you can come by yourself, or if you want to bring your spouse or a boyfriend, a girlfriend, you want to bring mom and daughter day out, a couple's day out, whatever you feel connected to, or you just want to meet a bunch of brand new people. I want us to get a head start on those New Year's resolutions because all too often people wait until the beginning of the year to start saying, I want to be a better version of myself in this realm and that realm. We're going to talk about the aspects of masks. When I talk about it, it has more to do with that whole triangle, right? The physical side of the mask you put on. Let's think about that. What does that mean? That means I don't want people to see that I've put on an extra 20, 50, 100 pounds. So I'm just going to layer on and say that the layers they see, no, those are scarves. Those are extra sweatshirts and sweaters and jackets. That's not really my weight, right? I've done that with my clients that I've personal trained. Then it becomes, I need to layer and layer and layer all these different things to cover up things that I'm embarrassed by. Okay, well, that's where my guest is going to come into play. People that have scars and they thought, I don't want to show the world these scars, or I've got acne issues from when I was younger, but I still have those scars and I'm so embarrassed by it. There's so many things in the esthetician world that I'm so proud of because, I go back and talk about when I was a little girl and I would see people look at my brother. My brother had a really pretty severe birthmark on his face. And one of the reasons why I think I'm so protective of the people that I love is that I watched people look at him and ask me if he was in a fire. And they would say, what's wrong with his face? And I would get so angry and so upset. And I would puff up my chest as a little girl and I would shout back at them. It's never good, right, to have anger with anger. Then I started saying, and feeling as I got older, that's their own inadequacies, right? But I never really understood what my brother went through. So my brother years ago went through some of the things that I'm seeing take place in the aspect of the esthetician world. What I'm seeing now that they're able to do, he started doing a long time ago at a hospital where it was starting to be able to erase what he saw. Every day he would look in the mirror and he would see a monster. I saw this handsome, incredible brother of mine, but I'm not him. I don't look in the mirror, just like each and every one of you. Maybe you have a birthmark, or maybe you have another aspect of something, whether it's on the face or it's on the body, that you don't like. And no matter what people say to you, they can tell you that you're the most handsome person or the most beautiful person, but you don't feel that. Well, then there are things that can take place where someone can help you with that. So if you feel that way, please drop in any comments and say, oh my gosh, Monica, you're talking about my life. We're going to get into all of that today. There's things called microchanneling, which I had never heard of. Microneedling I have, but some of you maybe have never heard of that either. Vivace and Agnes, which we actually talked about a few weeks ago. We're going to go a little bit more in depth into that. Those things we'll talk about with our guest. But the mask series, I really want to get into, and we'll sprinkle it in a little bit here over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll go in depth into that workshop. I'd love to see you there, and I'd love to meet a lot of you that watch our show every day. So the tickets are on sale. TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Go to our website, click on the calendar of events, and then click on December 8th, and that'll be available to you. All right. A lot of people were asking, what's it going to look like as we get into Thanksgiving, as you're making your plans maybe to travel? It's crazy the amount of people that travel 50 or more miles on Thanksgiving or the day before. And again, AAA sees this. The gas prices have gone down, but we want to keep you all safe on the roadways as you travel. We have 55 degrees today. Not bad at all, but it is going to get crazy windy, and it's going to get cold tonight, 34 degrees. Tomorrow, 44. That's your high, not your low. 44 for a high, and only 48 on Friday. But these next 2 days, hold on to your hats. It's going to be crazy windy. 33, almost at freezing as we go into Friday night into Saturday. And then we got a little rebound, 63 on Sunday. And then next week, look, we're in the upper 50s. We've got some rain in the forecast, though, as we go into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we look at Thanksgiving. Looks like a chilly one for sure. 45 and maybe even some rain. Going into Friday of next week, we're going to stay into the 40s. All right, I found this a little interesting since I just came back from Italy. There's an Italian village. They're kind of playing on the election, and maybe they're going to come out ahead here. They're offering, ready for this, $1 homes to Americans that are still upset by the results of the U.S. election. Many communities around the world had been wondering what to make of Donald Trump's presidential re-election. Well, a village on the Italian island of Sardinia has sniffed a potential opportunity. Like many other places in rural Italy, they have long been trying to persuade outsiders to move in to revive its fortunes after decades of depopulation. They've been selling dilapidated houses for as little as €1. That's just over $1 to sweeten the deal. And now, following the November 5th vote outcome, they've launched a website aimed at would-be American expats, offering up more cheap homes in the hope that those upset by the result will rush to snap up one of its empty properties. Properties, by the way, on offer include dilapidated homes at giveaway prices to ready-to-occupy buildings for up to $105,000, but they're worth well more than that. So I've seen this before. When I was at Channel 5, there were actually some villages that were being offered up for just a penny. Now, they have rules and things that you have to do in order to get that. But hey, if you want to move to Italy, and I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's absolutely gorgeous there, here's an opportunity. Hannah's actually dropping the link in right now if you're interested in that. And how about Pizza Hut offering up wine? Yes, they're selling a tomato wine, and it's meant to taste just like pizza. They're hoping to make your holiday entertaining even easier by offering an all-in-one takeout solution. It includes a chance to pick up a bottle of its new tomato wine. Yes, I said tomato wine. However, they're saying, even though it's red, it tastes more like a white wine. They explained in a statement to Food and Wine, quote, "It captures the essence of your favorite slice in every sip." I don't know about this one. The chain also announced it's bringing back its beloved triple treat box, meaning you can bring both pizza and wine to your next party all in one go. And congratulations to a restaurant in our area, a Metro East restaurant, actually. McDill's Irish Pub. They will host filming of America's Best Restaurants on December 2nd. The finished episode featuring the restaurant will be announced at a later date and featured on America's Best Restaurants. McDill's Irish Pub, by the way, is in Collinsville. They're open 365 days a year. The restaurant's popular menu items include a Reuben sandwich and an Irish burger. They will be featured now on America's Best Restaurants. So congratulations to them. I had never even heard of them. And we told you the Blues were in action last night. Well, unfortunately, they lost to the Wild. The final was 4-2. to 2. All right. So we like to drop in some news you can use, some fun things, some trending things, and then we get into our guests. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Jennifer Warmann Bloss, we're going to go a little bit more in depth now onto the physical side of when we talk about masks. She's been an esthetician since the early 2000s. I hope you've had a chance to see her on some of our past shows. If not, we'll get a chance to introduce you to her today. We're going to talk about, again, microneedling, microchanneling, Agnes, and Vivace. All of that coming up when we return. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? Do you go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Welcome back at 7:12, and let me introduce my guest, Jennifer Warmann Bloss from Elemental Aesthetics. How are you this morning?
I am doing fantastically.
I'm glad that we are doing it this way and that I am not shaking your hand or giving you a hug in person because I don't want anyone to have this.
There is so much going around. I had a day last week, Wednesday. I had a full day of clients scheduled on Wednesday, and by noon, everyone but one had canceled because they were sick.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because there's so many things that you do at Elemental Aesthetics, again, from the physical side, but also inside the whole body. I was going to ask if you have had a lot of people coming in because before I left, you remember I was sick before I left. So before I left, I came in and sat in the salt room. Have you had a lot of people coming in to try to open things up and get things moving?
We've had quite a few IVs, which is another good way to kind of boost your immune system. And then, yes, the salt room is also fantastic if you're especially if it's respiratory.
Yeah.
And so we do have quite a few, but and there's a stomach thing going around too. It's crazy. It's crazy right now.
Well, it's the season, right? So we're talking about flu, COVID, pneumonia, a stomach issue. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing a lot. And again, it's affecting from young kids. But, we've got a lot of things we want to talk about today, but let's go into that a little bit more. So if someone's trying to boost their immune system, what are the best IVs or shots that they can do?
So we have one that's called the Triimmune shot, and it has zinc and vitamin C and glutathione. So glutathione's an anti-inflammatory.
Mhm.
And then your vitamin C is boosting your immune system, and zinc is great to fight the bacteria of whatever's got you infected.
That's the one that you had me do before I left, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
See,
and that one actually is, so, like, one of the gals in our office, she'll literally do it once a week through the winter just
oh,
as a preventative,
mhm.
and it just kinda kicks everything up and just makes you handle it better. But one of the greatest things you can do, honestly, for your immune system is part of the reason we get a little bit sicker in the winter is because we get out of the sun and we lose that vitamin D level.
Mhm.
And so taking a good vitamin D supplement in the winter can really, really help you. And,
Absolutely.
it just kinda makes you a little more fortified from what's coming at you.
Yeah, you really do have to ramp that up because, we get away from, well, first of all, we have shorter daylight and we're not out in it and it gets colder. We talk about seasonal affective disorder. That's a real thing. We'll talk about it again here probably shortly. And people get depressed during this time of the year. So we're trying to boost so many things. You had me do that shot and sit in the salt room. I felt so much better. I also did a Z pack from another friend of mine. So I felt great going into Italy. And then but I still think everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, poor thing, she got sick again." My immune system though was still down and it was just getting crazy attacked. So you brought up a great point, Jennifer, and that is that we need to be preventative, not reacting.
Yes, I mean, it's tough. I do have a few secrets I can share. Like,
Yeah.
one of the things that I use that's very effective in the winter is something called black seed oil.
Uh-huh.
and it can be taken in a liquid format or it can be taken in a pill form. And I take it every day during the year, but during the winter I double it and take it twice a day. And it's a simple little one that not a lot of people know about, and it definitely helps kind of strengthen me. I mean, I'm leaning over people's faces
Right.
and breathing in their air, and so I really have a little more exposure, kind of like a teacher would,
Yep.
where I'm just, people come in, they don't know they have things. It's not like they're intentionally coming in
Right.
sick or anything. It just happens.
Yep.
So, like, I like the black seed oil. I like to make sure your vitamin D is good.
Mhm.
And, like, you can test that with your doctor and see where it is. And, keeping that higher will make you less likely to catch things in the winter. And then vitamin C is always great. However, it can be a little hard on the stomach, and that's why we recommend injecting it instead. When we inject it, we're bypassing your stomach so you don't get um, some of the digestive things that can happen with vitamin C.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's the question a lot of people, and we've covered this in the past year when people think, "Oh, well, can't I just go to the store? I can buy my vitamins. Isn't that enough?" And they always question, like, "Okay, what's the difference between me just taking it orally and me having a shot or doing it in an IV?"
Yes, absolutely. So what it does is we can give you a lot more quantity of it, and because we're bypassing your stomach, you don't have disruption from it. Because sometimes zinc, if you take oral zinc, can be disruptive as well. And so either one of those does a little bit better via IV or shot or whatever.
If you're just tuning in, once again, Jennifer Warmann Bloss from Elemental Aesthetics. And if you have not been in yet, they're located again in Creve Coeur, Suite 206, 425 North New Ballas Road. And you can go online, look at all of their services, or give them a call for yourself. This is also a great time for you to be thinking about some unique gifts to give for Christmas. Maybe you want to buy some gift cards so that we can have you and your friends and your family that are on your list take care of yourself. Before we get into some of the things we wanted to discuss today, you want to talk about some of your November specials?
Sure. Actually, I want to give you a little secret.
I
Um,
love it.
Starting next week, we will be offering gift cards with bonus money. So
Oh,
you were just bringing up gift cards.
yeah,
We always do a little promo where we, give you a little extra on your gift card. So we'll have three different tiers, and you'll be able to purchase your gift card with a little extra money, which you
fantastic.
can keep for yourself or give to your first loved one. I mean, you can kind of mix that up however you want.
I love it.
So there's a little insider trading. Um,
Breaking
and
news.
and then on our November specials, we have a peel that's amazing for discoloration. And this time of year, we've gotten out of the sun, and it's a good time to do it. We have it for the body right now, which means you could remove pigment from your chest or your back, your arms and legs, and that's a great peel. I highly recommend it. The downtime is like almost nothing, and the results are beautiful. We have the Splendor X facial, which one of our estheticians calls the runway facial. It's a laser facial with it's just comfortable. It has no downtime. It's amazing. And so we have that promo going on right now with dermaplaning for free. We've got some limited with one of our estheticians, dermaplaning with a light peel for $75, which is a great deal. Our massage therapist, Tara, has a great promo right now. And then we have a bunch of injectable specials going on with our nurses.
Fantastic. Again, this is the time that everybody starts thinking about, okay, I've got just a handful of weeks before Christmas. So when you think about someone that you think has everything, they don't if they haven't been able to take care of themselves. Again, and it's all those levels. So Jennifer Warmann Bloss is our guest. Now we talked, Jennifer, it's been a handful of weeks ago, about Agnes. And I'm going to show you the video, which you can kind of explain what you're doing in this video again, but all the different things that Agnes can do. And then we'll talk about DermaPen, microchanneling, microneedling as well, and Vivace, which you said is something more. Is it a newer thing?
No, Vivace's been around. It's just a different type of
Ah,
microneedling technology. So
okay, okay. Okay, perfect. All right, so Agnes, so talk. This is actually Michelle, and Michelle had been in with Jennifer a few weeks ago, talking about what she's done, and you said this is going to take a few months before we really see the after effects.
Yes, and we started seeing them when she was in with me
Yeah.
even a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, so Agnes is so what I was going to talk about with microneedling actually is there's all these different levels of it. So, a lot of people have had microneedling.
Mhm.
That's a typical service you'll see in just about any spa or even with someone that's just renting a room because it's a relatively inexpensive and easy technology for somebody to have. But there are lots of different ways to do it. And so we're going to talk about some of those different ways today. And Agnes is the most advanced, the newest, the latest, greatest version of microneedling. So a lot of microneedling is done with it's like a head that might have 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 little needles in it. I know that sounds terrifying, but with numbing, it's actually very comfortable. And so they're breaking the surface of the skin, which breaks up, like you were talking about, acne or scarring and that kind of thing. And so they're kind of breaking down the surface, which makes your body, it tricks your body into making collagen.
Okay.
So with Agnes, though, Agnes is the most powerful energy of RF that there is, and it is a single needle or maybe three needles, depending on what we're treating. And what it does is we can use it to remove fat because it goes to such a high temperature. It actually breaks down the fat molecule and dissolves it, and you excrete it out afterwards. But we can also use it to like do a little facelift or restore your jawline. We can do bra fat with it. That's like one that is so easy and it works so good. The results are so fast on the bra. It's amazing. So those women that are just like you're going to the holiday parties, right? How about like not having things pop out?
You
you
know
know?
what? You're right. I can't tell you how many people I've trained over the years that have said, "Oh my god, I can't stand my third boob."
Yes. And this is a really easy way to take care of that. So like, that's amazing, but the sculpting we can do, the tightening we can do in the face, one special we do because people talk about their eyes a lot,
Yep.
is we'll do just tightening with the Agnes, and then we'll do a little cool peel over the top of that, and now their eyes look just amazing for life but for the holidays again, you wanna look good in December. This is the better time to start planning for those things because 'cause you'll see your results by the time the holidays are kicking in, maybe not by Thanksgiving, but, the rest of the year. So, Agnes is just a powerful tool. Very few places have it. It is really kind of a skill also. Like, the results are really based on the hand of the person that's doing it on you. Somebody like, we have years of experience with it,
Mhm.
but it is a newer technology that's a microneedling device.
Well, and I want to stress that again because some of you, I know a lot of people, which I love, from being in Italy. There's so many new people that are watching our show now. Everywhere I go, we're constantly telling people about the show. So we've got new people that have not been a part of this. You may not have you may not have had a chance to meet Jennifer in the past. So Jennifer Warmann Bloss is the owner of Elemental Aesthetics. She's been an esthetician since what, 2001, correct?
Right.
And one of the things that Jennifer's told us in the past is that she always wants to be way up here, right? So when she's bringing things into her practice, it is let's go and find what is really the top of our game. And like she just said, there's not a lot of people who have Agnes. So she wants to stand out. And that's what people are coming in for and seeing these great results. One of the things a lot of people ask Jennifer is when they do these things, what kind of downtime? I think that is one of the biggest questions I always hear that have coming into my email is, well, that sounds like something I might want to do, but I don't have the ability to be away from work, or I don't want people to see me for the next several days. What kind of downtime is there with Agnes?
Very little. Mostly the risk with Agnes is you could possibly get a bruise because we do injection numbing for that. And so it's possible to get a bruise from when the nurse is numbing you.
Okay.
And other than that, it's really very little downtime at all. You might be a little pink the day of, but it's really no one ever complains about the downtime of Agnes. And let me extend that into microneedling in general.
Uh-huh.
So the one thing that we do differently, very, very differently than most places that do microneedling is with microneedling, you can go somewhere and they just want to hammer that needle as deep as possible
That
because they
sounds
feel
painful.
like I know they feel like it's going to provide a better result. But the reality is a shallow microneedling or microchanneling provides the best results. So I say this because when they're doing it deep like that, you're going to leave their place with a bloody face, which is horrible. Like
Yes, absolutely.
you're going to see the holes. You're going to have blood on the surface of your skin. You're going to look raw and pink and all the things. It doesn't have to be done that way.
Yeah,
That is an old way to do it. It is outdated. I was actually at a conference this weekend and there was a doctor talking about how he was microneedling and leaving people bloody faced and doing it at like this extreme depth. And I'm like, not only like you think that just because you beat someone up more that maybe they'd have a better result. They don't. They don't. And it's unnecessary. And that's where 23 years of experience and the fact that we play with things when we get them, like what happens is like someone's bringing a device in for us to just play with today that competes with another device that we have in the office. And the reason we're doing that is we want to know, is this machine better? Can we do more with it?
sure.
How can we change the settings? How can we improve what this company has already provided to us? And in the world of microneedling, what we've realized is you don't have to destroy somebody. You don't have to make them have terrible downtime to look amazing.
Well, and I wonder if someone's had a bad experience, if that's prevented them from even trusting again, right?
Absolutely. And at those depths, they may not even like the result. They
Yeah,
might be like, oh, that would like I wouldn't do that again because it was so painful. And B, my result wasn't even worth it.
yeah.
And so we get phenomenal results with what we're doing without having to go through all that suffering.
So there you go. For anybody that's been, again, to someone in the past, you had a bad experience. Now it's time for you to have a good one. Again, Jennifer Warmann Bloss, Elemental Aesthetics in Creve Coeur. Hannah's dropping all the information that you need to know to set up your appointment or to talk to family and friends. Maybe you want to go in together. We talked about that in the past. I hopped over to Instagram and saw a comment from Jerry. Jerry, thank you. I always love when someone's, again, just letting go. Jerry said, I wear a mask to hide my emotional scars. Wow. Thank you for saying that. And that's a part of some things that I'm going to do in a continuing series. Again, opening up and talking about physical scars, emotional scars, spiritual scars, right? We go through so many levels of things and trying to erase a lot of that. We're going to take a quick break. So as Jennifer's been talking about, there's so many different levels of what they're able to do, unlike maybe somewhere else that you've been to. So she just mentioned microchanneling. Let's find out more about that. We'll discuss that. And if you have any questions, by the way, please don't just sit there and not ask them and then think, oh, shoot, I should have asked this. Go ahead and ask them now. We'll have more with Jennifer when we return. We are live on location, and this is the really cool thing. This is exactly what we can do from your business. We call it Mobile Monica. You know, I'm always on the move. Everyone knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best balls.
Oh my God. You enjoying this?
Always.
Watch this, I gotta move with her.
Orange Theory is created to help people live a more vibrant life.
When we tell you that they have some of the most beautiful sunsets, we mean it. We're now in the brainchild of Adventure Unknown. That thing
Well, he's got a
is
heck of a
beautiful.
story behind that leopard,
I
too.
know. It's going to be a very dangerous shoot right now.
It'll be
She says it
fabulous.
is. Monica or Mez Adams. How's that
Yes,
sound?
that sounds great.
This is Marianne Graff, owner of Just Be Kind Coffee House and Cafe. And you can see all the people in line. Oh, that handsome gentleman is... That would be my husband, Jim.
My mission statement says I want people to feel better leaving than when they came in.
And you do. Again, no calories when you're spreading kindness.
No calories when you're spreading kindness, especially if it's on the weekend.
And we got something exciting, by the way, that we're going to be announcing the day after Thanksgiving. So next Friday, you do not want to miss something really, really big that we have for those who want to book a mobile Monica from your business. Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to miss that announcement. If you're just tuning in, it's 7:31, and I hope you're having a great start to your day. Again, we are on multiple platforms: Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, and Instagram. So spread the word for whatever platform is best for you, your family, your friends. Tell them to watch every morning, 7 a.m. We're so thrilled to be back with you. And I promise you, so many people have been like, Monica, where are your pictures and videos from Italy? I have been in bed nonstop since I got back, so I haven't had a chance to drop any of them in. They are coming today, and I'll break down. Somebody asked me to show my full itinerary from Italy. I will do that for you as well. And there's some exciting things coming, by the way, as I team up with the couple who I went to Italy with, and I'll be providing all of the wellness side while they provide the culinary side. Some exciting things to come for sure in 2025. Welcome back again. We're talking with Jennifer Warmann Bloss, my guest from Elemental Aesthetics. Once again, they are located in Creve Coeur. There's the phone number and the address for you to make an appointment again for yourself, or as we mentioned earlier, maybe you want to say, oh, hey, this is a great opportunity for me to buy a gift card for someone on my Christmas list, or for you to go in together. So that would be a really fun thing to do to take care and be preventative. Again, we're talking about different aspects of microneedling, microchanneling. You mentioned microchanneling, which is something I had not heard of. So tell me more about that, and then we'll show some pictures and video.
So the big issue with microneedling sometimes is a lot of these devices, the way the needle like goes up and down and retracts inside the device. And some of them, the way that they're set up can actually, when you're moving it along the skin, can cause drag, or can increase, like, can pull on your pores and actually make your pores look worse. So you don't want that. The beauty of microchanneling is you see that round head, it doesn't have retractable needles. We're manually doing that bouncing to get the effect of the channeling. And the other thing about microchanneling is it's very, very shallow. So you get a nice result with it. And we combine it frequently with things like dermaplaning with a light peel or other lasers and things like that, because it's such a gentle, and you see how she doesn't look like afterwards, you can't even hardly tell that anything has happened to her.
No,
But
she's
what
not
we
even flinching.
no, but what we do is we use that to open channels of the skin, and then we actually infuse stem cells. So we just talked about
Yeah.
stem cells and exosomes in our
Excellent.
last episode.
Yeah.
And in this one, what we do is we create those channels in the skin, and then we infuse stem cells. We use plant-based stem cells that we infuse into the tissue, and it really rejuvenates the skin, and it helps with collagen building, and with, again, almost no downtime, little discomfort. Like that one we don't even have to numb with usually. We can if you want to have a little more comfortable. I mean, we're still kind of like biting at you a little bit,
It
but
didn't look like it. Zach, my director, Zach, he and I were looking at the videos, and he's like, it looks like a little buffer, like when you're buffing out your car. He's like, it looks like a little buffer. It doesn't look like it hurts at all.
yeah, that's got little tiny teeth in it. Like
Huh.
like if we turn it to the side and let you guys see it when you're getting it done, you can hardly see them. And so a lot of times we'll dermaplane. So we're going to get that first layer of skin off. We'll do a light peel. Then we'll channel you. We actually call that the ultimate facial. And so it is that. And then we're going to infuse you with stem cells. So now you've gotten like recovery, a little bit of breaking down the skin, smoothing from the dermaplaning, and the light peel is going to give you the nice glow, and now you've had a wonderful experience. And so that's a great little service where you can dip your toe in the water, and it's not aggressive at all in any way.
Well, and you just talked about the glow. I want to show some before and after pictures because these are pretty drastic. When you sent these to us, let's talk about what the guy on the first side. And again, this is what I mentioned in the beginning, because I've had people come to me for many, many years, and I can just see the depression that they have in them from what they see when they look in the mirror, and whether it's on their face or it's the extra weight again that they're carrying around, trying to get them to smile again. And I just imagine how many chills you must get, Jennifer, you and your staff, when you're able to show someone, hey, if you're hiding, again, the masks that we put on, if you're hiding because you don't like what you see in the mirror, we can help you with this. Tell me the reaction that these people had when they had this after picture.
Yes, and so a couple things. I want to be clear. The guy in these photos had a little deeper service, so we did
Mhm.
that would be done with numbing.
Okay.
And the thing about acne scars is they are little hardened surfaces. So what we're doing with the channeling is just breaking them up basically. We're breaking up the scar tissue. And so that was also several treatments to get that result. But I mean, how amazing is it to go from just, feeling the pain of scarring
Yeah.
and for men and women, acne at a young age has such internal scarring. You
Yep.
were just talking about that, and
Yep.
it it psychologically really messes with a person.
Yes.
On that note, I'm just going to sidebar over to Agnes because Agnes has a treatment for acne that permanently reduces the acne that you have forever. And so, if someone has active acne
Uh-huh.
and they're in that young age or even in their older age and they're fighting that, that's something we can resolve now to prevent the scarring as well. So, we can get ahead of it using an amazing technology. It's simple, it's effective, and what it does is it shrinks the oil gland that's hyperproducing, that's making the acne in the first place. And I'm going to go back to zinc. A person that's fighting a lot of acne is usually deficient in zinc, not always, but taking an oral zinc can significantly reduce acne as well. So,
So all these things together are
right.
going to be
So, when
beneficial.
we're advising you, we're going to guide you through the whole thing. Like, what can we do to help you now? Maybe prevent,
Yep.
or if the damage was done in the past, now how can we reverse that in the simplest way possible?
Let me ask this because when I was in Italy, we were re-airing some of our best of, and we re-aired a really popular show that we did about perimenopause, menopause, hormones, women thinking, oh my gosh, how in the world am I getting acne? I'm in my 50s. This is ridiculous. Maybe they never had it when they were growing up in their teens, but now suddenly they're dealing with that. And that's a whole nother level of depression with everything else they're going through. And is it possible that the acne that they're getting when they're again going through perimenopause, menopause, can that cause scarring also?
Of course, it
Hmm.
it all depends on the tenderness of your skin. Like some people are just prone to scarring and some are not.
Ah, okay.
And so it's hard to know unless they started to have some. I was actually a late acne. I had no childhood acne. And then in my mid 30s, I started to have hormonal acne. And for women, a lot of times that's around the mouth and jawline underneath the chin. That's the most common, quote, hormonal spot to have acne. Um, and usually in the later years. And it is a battle. It is a battle. And so what's nice is honestly, even getting a regular facial can make a huge difference in hormonal acne just because we're sweeping that excess skin off on a regular basis. And that makes a huge difference in, it just keeps the oil flowing instead of having it trapped under the surface, making your acne.
So
So
you
that
say a regular facial, but how often?
my perfect world is every 6 weeks because that's how long it takes so the base cell when it's first formed to make it to the surface is about 6 weeks.
So I'm
So
overdue.
so it's like every skin cycle we're doing yes, you are overdue. But I even say because time and financially and all that, not everybody can do that. If you can even do it once a quarter,
Okay.
so now you're at every 12 weeks.
Yep.
Now every other skin cycle you're catching. Okay, that can still be a really nice result.
Which I had heard a lot of, and maybe, and again, any of you that have any questions or comments of anything that you've experienced in the past, I used to hear that from other estheticians. They would say, if you can do one at the change of every season.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Okay.
again, you're catching that every other skin cycle. You're just moving things. What happens is after 28 on average, your skin stops shedding as quickly as it used to, and it starts to build up on the surface. And so I always say, like your young skin is like packed snow and your older skin is like the loose snow on top. And sometimes it's easier to see the inflections in the snow when you see that loose snow, right? Like if you step in loose snow, you're going to see that indention, and that's what your wrinkle is. So, what we're doing when we're doing a facial or many of these other services is we're sweeping that loose snow off the top and leaving the packed snow
I love it. And I don't want any snow though.
underneath.
Good analogy. Again, Jennifer Warmann Bloss with Elemental Aesthetics in Creve Coeur. And if you have not been, look at the comments on any of the platforms. Hannah's doing a wonderful job dropping everything in that you need. We told you again earlier about some November specials. So might be a great time for you to take advantage of things that you've been thinking about doing. Here it is up on your screen. Thank you to all that are obviously watching live this morning on all the platforms. If you watch this later, just do a little hashtag replay and tag myself or Jennifer in the comments so that we can make sure that we answer your questions in the future. We showed you some pictures again of the microchanneling before and afters. Here's another. So people are coming for what when they're doing microchanneling?
A lot of times it's to refresh, get the glow back, tighten up, break up acne scarring, but it's good for anybody. And the reason I put a man in the pictures is that
Yep.
there's a lot of men that could use that refresh, that boost, that tightening. All of those, they're just important as we are. And then, like you can see around the eyes, like the eyes are a big complaint for a lot of people.
Sure.
And if people don't want to do things like Botox, these are good alternatives to tighten around the eye.
Okay. Good point. Let's talk also about DermaPen.
So DermaPen is the newest microneedling device on the market, and we actually just brought it to St. Louis. We are the first medical spa in the area to bring it. And what they do is a couple of things. Their device is just so painless and comfortable. It's fast, and the needling is very comfortable, and the downtime is very little. But one of the other pieces of DermaPen that's amazing is they brought these amazing European serums that we're infusing with the device. So they're very clean. So for those that are like interested in like having a clean experience, like or trying to be more natural,
Uh-huh.
so there's really no pain. It's super fast. It's very comfortable. The downtime is next to nothing. And then we have these amazing serums to use that can help with discoloration, that can help with tightening, that can help with rosacea. So this is the first device we have that really has this influence of the extra serums that can really net you an amazing result. And so funny, the day we got this in, I did it on myself because I couldn't wait to try it. And like immediately, like I just tightened up and things just looked better. And like I don't fight glow. I mean, I've got a good system in place to keep my skin radiant.
Mhm.
But like the tightening effect was just so great and so immediate. And it's been a few weeks now and I'm still having result from it. So again, very little downtime, easy, can be combined with other services. I've done it now with IPL and some other services that we have in the office. And people are just loving it. So that is a new cutting edge. It's the device, it's the serums, like it all makes a difference in the kind of result you can get.
Well, and one of the things for those of you that are new to the show and maybe you haven't heard or maybe you forgot that I love is we mentioned it in the very beginning when we first introduced Jennifer to you back in September. A lot of people are hearing about all these wonderful things that you offer and in their head they might be like, I don't know what's right for me. You don't have to choose what's right for you. She will.
No,
She
yes,
will.
come do a consult.
Yes, yes. Because
Let us
that way
let us
she
be your expert.
yeah, right. So so come in again. I just talked about it in the beginning. We'll talk about it more in the coming weeks. take the mask off, be willing to show yourself, your real authentic self, take the makeup off, come in, or if you're at work and you're like, okay, I'm obviously coming from work, she'll take the makeup off and then she'll look at your skin. She wants to feel it. And then she'll be able to say, okay, here's what we can do for you. So you don't have to have the decision-making process. She will do that for you. But yeah,
Right.
one of the things you mentioned in this that I see across the board is the glow. I mean, there's a huge difference in that before and after. So you can definitely tell the serums that you're using also is a beautiful glow, which I always see on you.
Well, and this one too, you can see the textural improvement in the
Yeah,
skin, like how the pores just kind of disappear.
right.
And that is a big complaint that a lot of people come in, they're like, "Oh, my pores are huge," or whatever. This one's amazing for that pore reduction and that smoothing look. That's, like I always say it's kind of like putting a filter on your face, but it's real. Like it's a
Yeah,
real, like you see it in person. And
exactly. It's not a fake filter.
it's not a fake filter.
So let me ask this. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll talk about Vivace. For people that are wanting to get in now before the holidays, are you pretty booked up or do you have some good openings?
Um, I am still I'm pretty booked up between now and Thanksgiving. I think I have a few openings.
Okay.
So, grab those while you can,
Okay.
because then we can start a plan and figure out how to get you ready for the holiday.
Yeah.
And but in December, in the beginning of December, it should be relatively easy still to get in. I'm probably like a 2 weeks out person, but I did note I opened more time on my book next week, so that created some more space.
So that's the reason again to call, make your appointment getting ready for Christmas or your big New Year's Eve, maybe celebrations. And you want people to just be wowed by what in the world are you doing? 314-279-6069. Elemental Aesthetics, again, located in Creve Coeur, 206-425 North New Ballas Road. And you can also go online and look at all of their services as well as on Elemental Aesthetics. If you have not made your appointment yet, then maybe this is what you've been waiting for to find out more about the things that affect you. So as we talk about this, and if it sounds like, hey, that sounds like my life, that's what I've been going through. Well, now here's an opportunity for you. All right, we're going to talk about Vivace when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
And a lot of you know I love fashion. I'm excited, by the way. Tomorrow we have our big makeover show at the Vault, luxury resale, and we get a chance to make over some of our own viewers, which I'm excited to meet some of you. We've got I think 5 or 6 models, I forget. But Michelle's done a great job getting them all ready while I was in Italy. So much fun. If you've never been, located in Richmond Heights, the Vault Luxury Resale, and we're talking about designer clothes, fashion, jewelry, etc., purses, you name it, but not at those crazy designer prices. If you've never been, you're going to definitely want to go in. Another really cool place for you to go for the holidays. Super excited for that tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So be sure to tune in for that. We're at 7:50. We've got about 10 minutes left in the show with our guest, Jennifer Warmann Bloss with Elemental Aesthetics. We're talking about the difference in microneedling. Again, the things that they are able to do, very different from maybe other places that you've been to. And if you've been scarred by your experience in the past, I want you to trust, because again, Jennifer has been doing this for a long, long time, and she prides herself on being the best of the best in the area. So you mentioned Vivace had been around for a while, but this is a little different.
So we've had Vivace for years and years and years. But like I was saying earlier, we started doing it one way, and over time we started to shift how we were doing it. We actually, like I said, we went from doing it at a mid depth to kind of a shallower depth. And the difference between Vivace and these other technologies that we discussed earlier is that it has a plume of energy, radio frequency energy, and light, red light, which you and I have talked about
Uh-huh.
several times, that comes from the tip of the device. So when we're microneedling with that device, we're also sending a plume of energy underneath the tissue, It is amazing for tightening. So for like you can see in this woman down at the bottom,
Yeah.
like for those ladies that are pulling their face back, like
Right.
you're standing in front of the mirror going, pull, pull, tuck, tuck. This device will give you that look. It really does tighten that sagging skin around the jowls, the neck, under eyes, and it's the chest. It's awesome. So here you go. You see how it's working, but you see that flash of red?
Uh-huh.
That's the red light that's being shot under the tissue, and so the red light is a really amazing, anti-aging energy, and it is also helpful for tightening, inflammation reduction, so people that are kinda have that red undertone, it's amazing to correct that, but the thing about this one is very little downtime. You might be pink the day of, like, more than the other 2, you might be pink for a few hours after. However, you can wear makeup the next day. All of these devices, you can wear makeup the next day, so the downtime is really nominal. But remember the last time I was on, we talked about exosomes.
Yes.
So we infuse exosomes at the end of this treatment.
Oh, okay.
So we have the microneedling, which encourages collagen development, the RF, which also encourages tightening and real deep collagen development, the red light, which helps with aging and inflammation. And so all of this is incorporated in the one Vivace. The beauty of the Vivace is it lasts months and months and months. We're talking 6 to 9 months. Some people can
Wow.
go a year in between. Like I can go almost a year in between my Vivaces because it holds so well. So long result, little downtime, amazing things. And then at the end of that, we are infusing, we're putting in exosomes. Exosomes turn your stem cells on and make your body recover itself, rebuild, and just have the most amazing results. So of the 3 devices, this is the most advanced in the ways that it has the least downtime, it's the easiest to recover from, and it's just doing so many things to
So
help.
if they're doing Vivace, is it only a one time?
I mean, one time in like,
Like
a
6,
year.
9 months in a
6
year?
months, 9
Yeah.
months, yeah, mhm.
Which is what you had mentioned when we talked to Michelle about Agnes. She won't have to have that again. She did it once?
Right, right, so Agnes is more like, um, what especially if you're doing the fat removal, it
Uh-huh.
won't come back.
Huh.
If you're doing tightening, you continue aging. So all of these, you're gonna continue aging, unfortunately, that's the
Hmm.
way the world works, and so we do end up repeating, like, if we do Agnes for tightening, you might repeat it, but if we're doing it for fat removal, you shouldn't have to repeat it. If we take your bra fat off, it's gone.
Interesting.
That's kinda nice, but, the microchanneling and the DermaPen both you might want more than one treatment to get to your result, but they're easier and simpler and less expensive, so it's all about your budget, your timeline, what do you want to achieve? And
Sure.
that's you were talking about the consult, and we can really guide to the best, avenue for them.
Let me stress this as we talk about all of these things over the last hour. I never want someone to think, okay, great. I'm living my life this way. I'm just going to go in. I just want to have all these things done. But I'm going to lead my life coming out of this in not the best way. That's not it. I'm hoping these things, they start to transfer your mindset to, okay, I'm going to start taking better care of myself, right? When we do consultations, whether Jennifer's doing it or I consult someone on nutrition or working out, it is hoping that it takes that step forward of you're bettering yourself physically, it betters you mentally, emotionally, that suddenly you just want to change. It's not like, hey, let's remove fat, but let's keep eating like crap,
Right.
right?
Well, and the fat we're removing is so tiny, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's unaffected by your dietary choices afterwards. But you will feel better if you make
Which
those
hopefully makes you
adjustments.
want to eat better and work
Yes,
out and
yes,
move. Yeah, this is why Jennifer and I work hand in hand, that it just continues to better yourself. So again, we've talked about a lot of things. I'm going to go back through, show you pictures, show you some videos, but you don't have to pick, again, what makes sense for you. This is what Jennifer and her staff will get a chance to do. So when you come in, she may say, like she did with Michelle, which is, again, we laughed because Michelle went in to have a facial and she was like, well, what else can you do? And she's like, well, we could do this. Agnes, she told Michelle about it. And Michelle's just like, let's go. Let's just do it. All right. Let's go for it. Otherwise, it is time that she'll say, okay, maybe we want to have this done. So you come back and then set an appointment. If there's something that has to be done multiple times, they'll schedule that out for you. So if you want to recap, we've talked about Agnes, we've talked about DermaPen, we talked about microchanneling. And again, it's not just things for the face. She talked about chest. We talked about the third boob, or the extra fat that women hate, right, around the bra. Men as well. This is for men and women alike. So I don't want you to think, hey, we're just talking about women here. Microneedling, Vivace, all of these things you can find out more about when you give Jennifer and her staff a call. But I would say if you're looking for something, again, to help you here in the next 6 weeks, and you just want to look refreshed and better, you might want to try to make that phone call today, because this is when people start to really get booked up as we get ready to go into the holidays. So again, 314-279-6069. Make the call for yourself, or if you've been listening to someone that has said, I'm not really happy, and maybe you want to go in together. Sometimes I think in life we need that person to kind of hold our hand and go in together. Do you have a lot of people that come in like with friends or moms, daughters, things
Oh
like
my
that?
god, I love that. That's like the best when so like I have a mom and daughter pair that's doing laser hair removal together right now, and or friends. I love when people bring their friends or their teenage kids in, just to kind of see what those experiences are like. I don't know. It's fun to have a group like that. I have sisters that come regularly together every month.
Huh.
So and they just like they turn it into lunch and their connection to each other, and one of them's coming from Central Illinois. So she's coming from quite a distance to come, and it's so fun when they're coming in together, and like either hanging out in the room or flip-flopping each other's time and then maximizing their time together afterwards. It's great.
Well, it's the accountability partner to say, hey, you got to take care of yourself. Well, that's one of the things I've always talked about is self-love. Taking care of yourself is so very important.
Well,
Anne just said, good morning, Monica and Jennifer. I've had wonderful experience at Elemental Aesthetics. Thank you both for all that you do for us.
Anne is amazing. She's
Yes,
like the greatest.
yes, yes.
So I was going to say about those sisters also. So one of the sisters originally came to me because she had scarring from melanoma, and I helped to remove the scarring from her face.
Wow.
And she has since seen me for years. And then her son was getting married, and she brought her sister in for the first time. And the changes that we made in her sister's skin through simple options, regular facials, just little things, has been amazing. And she, like how she feels, which just goes back to where you started this,
Yep.
in her skin is pride and joy, and things that she had a lot of acne scarring when we started. She had a lot of discoloration and other things, like the way she looks now is amazing. And she's done a variety of things. And that's kind of, if when people ask me what my protocol is,
Uh-huh.
like what I like to do for myself and what I like to recommend for my clients is a regular facial, and I mix those up. So like it's not going to be the same treatment every time you come in. We'll figure out what you need when you're there. And then I do a little bit of Jeuveau, which is a more natural Botox. And then I do two big lasers a year. So and I'm 53, and I try to just not look 53. That's my goal. I'm not trying to look 20.
Right.
Um, but it's just, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's a simple, and it's me taking care of myself. It's me feeling good in my own skin.
Yep.
I'm also really good about washing my face and all the things that you do at home as well.
Yep.
But it doesn't have to be thousands and thousands of dollars
Right.
to feel good in your face and to feel good in your presentation of yourself to other people.
Sure. Well, again, and I want you to understand that when you start to do these things, I really do hope that it starts to make you look at every aspect of your life. And moving forward, you say, I want to make this change. I want to make that change. All of those things together. Jennifer, thank you. You've been a wealth of knowledge. Again, Jennifer Warmann Bloss with Elemental Aesthetics. One more time, if you have not made the call already, you've been sitting on it for the last couple of months as you've been hearing her on with us. Now is the time. Elemental Aesthetics, go online, look at the website, look at all the services that they have for you and those that you love, and then make the call. Just go in for a consultation and see what she can do for you. Again, 314-279-6069. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you again for doing it this way so that I didn't get you sick.
That's fine. I appreciate you not getting me sick.
I don't want that. We're getting ready to go into the holidays. All right, everybody, don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap up. I want to thank one of our wonderful viewers, Marilyn. She purchased this book for us called Jesus Calling. And we're going to wrap up today with, let's see, what is it? November 20th. I am pleased with you. See, we talked about showing the best version of yourself. Jesus is already pleased with you. You may not be pleased with yourself, but we can make changes to that. We'll read from this and wrap up the show for you when we return.
Monica's show, it's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
That's it. All about doing good and being nice, right? That's what we're all about. All right, as we wrap up, I am pleased with you, my child. Allow yourself to become fully aware of my pleasure shining upon you. You don't have to perform well in order to receive my love. In fact, a performance focus will pull you away from me towards some sort of negativity. This can be a subtle form of idolism, worshiping your own good works. It can also be a source of deep discouragement when your works don't measure up to your expectations. So shift your focus from your performance to my radiant presence. The light of my love shines on you continually, regardless of your feelings or your behavior. Your responsibility is to be receptive to this unconditional love. Thankfulness and trust are your primary receptors. Thank me for everything. Trust in me at all times. These simple disciplines will keep you open to my loving presence. Again, this is from the Jesus Calling book from Sarah Young. Thank you, Marilyn, for this. When we're on set, we read from 100 Days to Freedom from our friend Stephen Arterburn. All right, tomorrow's the big show. It is at the Vault Luxury Resale. We've got 5 models that we're going to do a little before and after big transformation on them. And then on Friday, we are at Christopher's and Mark Anthony's Gifts. They are now one family, STL Gifts. If you haven't been, they're in Kirkwood, and we're ready to kick off the holiday shopping season. So 2 back-to-back mobile Monicas for you, one in Richmond Heights and one in Kirkwood. We can't wait to show them off. 2 incredible places. And if you want a mobile Monica from your location, your restaurant, your festival, let us know. We've got some big things coming. And again, you don't want to miss the day after Thanksgiving. We have a huge announcement for those of you that want a mobile Monica or you want to become a sponsor of the show. A really big discount. Again, everybody's doing Black Friday special, so we thought we'd jump on board with you. So if you've been waiting to pull the trigger, you might want to be tuned in on that day for something special we have for you. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another version of The Real Monica Adams Show. Spread the word, share the love, and remember to be kind. God bless you all.